Do you feel the booze?
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is me, BTV Red Legend, back with another new analysis video right here. So, I know, I've been milking the boss arenas a lot lately, especially Dread Bloom Cave, and it's probably getting really boring for you guys. So, this will be, the last boss arena video for, a few days. I will go back to my new account series, or probably some, different kind of video, but, you guys asked for more of this analysis, so I'll just do one more for you guys. So today we're going to be playing Daisy. To my knowledge, Daisy is going Dark Farm Ice, I believe. So this Star Monkey spot, Daisy has it right here, so I can have the chance to layer a lot of balloons. And Daisy did the same, which is a pretty smart move for Daisy to do. Um, Anyways, I just completely forgot what I was supposed to be saying. So it looks even right about now. I did manage to use all my road spikes just to tank all of that because just to tank all those lives is probably a bad idea because when you're going Dark Farm Ace, one of the biggest troubles you're going to have is Moab territory, and you can save your road spikes for Moabs, but I just use them for just greed at the moment. As you can see, I only have one triple dart up, and I got an entire 1-0 farm lead on Daisy, which is absolutely insane. It might not mean much, but it really does mean a lot in the early game. And Daisy goes for the second plantation right now, and I get a bit greedy and go for two plantations and one 1-0 farm. Normally I wouldn't really survive a yellow rush without leaking too much lives, but we'll see where Daisy's going with it. So as you can see, we have an even amount of farms, so since Daisy went for that farm, Daisy won't have much money to rush me with yellows. And I'm just pressuring Daisy by sending a lot of greens. And I'm just layering a few yellows over, just to cause some trouble, but not too much trouble. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Daisy does the smart thing and sends the yellows back, but it looks like Daisy just boosts last minute. What I should have done right there, wait, what I should have done right there was set this triple dart monkey back on first again when the balloons got here, so it can take minimal lives. But yeah. Oh, and if you didn't know, apparently someone said for green balloons and black balloons, it's better to get up a spiker pult rather than another triple dart monkey or your third triple dart monkey because it's just so much better. Um, It really depends on the map though. If the map lacks a lot of straight lines, then obviously the third triple dart monkey would be better for greens, but at the moment, putting the juggernaut right here is so much better, because it can just fire down this straight line until balloons get here. If balloons get here, then the juggernaut or spiker bot will just fire down this lane. Um, so if you don't know, Daisy's Spiker Bolt spot is a little susceptible to regen leads. It is quite good, but it is susceptible to regen leads if Daisy doesn't defend properly. So as you can see, Daisy is definitely up on farms right now. So you might be thinking, well, am I behind on farms? Not really. Even though I got my plantation later and Daisy got the fourth farm up quicker and has more defense, I have been sending a lot more balloons, and therefore I have a higher eco. Now, this is a concept that most of you guys haven't considered yet, but you definitely want to send as little regen balloons as possible to make the most out of it as much as possible. That was a pretty bad rush because all Daisy had to do was triple dart spam. Got up two triple darts and just sold one of them. It would be a bad idea if Daisy sold two of them because Daisy is actually really low on lives, so it was a good idea for Daisy to keep at least one of them. Um, but it's better to send balloons before round 10 compared to sending balloons after round 10. Unless your opponent is being very greedy in the in the round 15 or round 13 rounds, then you can definitely punish them for that. But apart from that, it's just better to send balloons early because the benefit is you're getting earlier eco and you're also getting more bang for your buck um because say pinks, they cost $90 and they give $3.6 of income, whereas blacks give 150. Blacks they cost $150 and they give $6 of income back. So it's basically like from red to black balloons in this top row or like in the side row if you're playing phone. That generally means you're paying $25 to get one eco. However, for the zebras and leads, you're basically paying more money to get $1 of eco. Because for zebras, you're paying $220 to get the same amount of eco that blacks give you, and it's the same case scenario for leads. So yeah. And generally, you don't want to send too big of a rush because, as you can see here, it's at this point that I realized that Daisy had an ice shards. If you did some sort of camo mix rush, like mixing in regen lead with some camo balloons, then that could definitely do some damage. Probably even kill Daisy at the moment since Daisy is really low on lives, but yeah, I just didn't know what Daisy's third tower is at that point, so yeah. So it looks like Daisy has the second plantation up faster than me, and yeah. If you want to know when to go for your bank, it's always then you have to ask this question. Are you going to go for the bank or the BIA in the next two rounds? If you're not going for the BIA in the next two rounds, get up another plantation or get up more farms. If you are going for the BIA within the next two rounds, then don't farm anymore and just save up. Maybe sometimes 3 rounds if you're at the end of the round and placing down a farm won't really give you any bananas, but yeah, it takes 3 rounds for 2 or 3 rounds for a farm. Um, for you to buy a farm, get some money, and sell it to get a profit. It takes like 2 or 3 rounds. My wording is a bit off, but you know what I mean. Just rewind it a little if you want me to re-explain that. So normally what people do is go for their sixth plantation, but I just go for my BIA right here. And if Daisy ever sends me a rush, I can sell these two plantations. And even if I can't afford a fan club, I can just triple dart spam and just boost straight away. I can probably spiker bolt spam. If you guys didn't know, spiker bolt spam is generally better for balloons compared to dart monkey spam. Um, but I haven't really been doing spiker bolt spams in these types of videos, so yeah. I'm still not used to how to use Spike Vault Spam. I still have a bit to learn, so I won't teach you guys that at the moment, but yeah. So the game's going normally. I have 3 plantations next to my BIA. Daisy has a plantation and a republic next to the BIA. So yeah. I always like to go for 3 plantations because you aren't going for your factory straight away. Since it takes six rounds for the BIA to completely fill up. Therefore, you have to wait at least 6 rounds to, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I don't know what to talk about since there's really nothing to analyze on the screen. But, yeah. Oh, wait. Is that a bloom boost? Yeah, that was a bloom boost, Moab. With a few triple dot monkeys I wouldn't be able to defend. I also didn't want to fan club. I just wanted to boost to defend. Not spend as much money. And because why not? You have free boosts. You aren't. Um, If this game ends earlier than round 32, you aren't going to use all three boosters most of the time. So I was just like, you know what, why not use a boost right now? And it looks like Daisy is somehow ahead of Farms, but I think that's because Daisy greeded a lot more, or probably went for some money, or probably like took the money out of the BIA early. So I could have gone for right here, I could have gone for the factory straight away and hoped that round 22 gives me a lot of money because round 22 is a very short round. It gives you a lot of crates from the factory straight away, so you can get up defense for the round 22 AI. But I wanted to not greed and play it safe, so that kind of put me behind on farms. But really, it doesn't matter. So I see Daisy sell the plantation and then get it back. I have no idea why. um, And a lot of you guys in my comment section or Discord are asking why you want to go, why you want to collect the BIA when it's full or when it's almost full instead of getting the money from the BIA when you need to. Well, every single round, the BIA gives 10% interest. And if you don't know what that means, it means say in the first round, the BIA manages to gather 100. It manages to gather up about $2,000. And then when the round ends, it gives you 10% of that value. So so basically 2,000 and then times and then plus another 10% of that amount of money is $2,200. So you have $2,200 in your bank. Now wait, what was the example? Wait, no. Let me just reword this. I'll be right back. I'm back, guys. So basically, the BIA say it gives you $2,000 on the first round, and then at the end of the round, when the round ends, it will give you an extra $200. On the second round, it will give you 10% more than what it did on the first round, so it will give you $2,200 again. So 2,200 plus 2,200 is about $4,400 that you have in your bank, and at the end of the round, it's obviously going to give 10% again. So that means now you have an extra $440 in your bank, which is $4,800. And you can tell that like the money you got from the second round is a lot more, or significantly more than the amount of money you got during the first round. So what happens when you wait? Um, yeah, the longer you wait for your BIA, the longer you keep the money in your BIA, the more money it's going to give you every single round. Now, say it gets to um, so every time you're getting, so uh, you're basically getting a lot of money or a lot more money than you would if you just keep collecting it whenever you want it to. So why not just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait until you're just getting like $1 million per round? Well, no, that's not how the bank works. The bank has a maximum limit of $20,000. So at $18,000, that's when you want to collect your bank. Because say you just had $15,000 in your bank, and like on the fifth round or something, it goes straight up to 18,000. Then that means it's an 18,000 increase. So you want to collect it at 18,000 when it's almost full. But why do you want to collect it when it's why do you not want to collect it when it's full? Well, because if the bank kept giving you money, then you should be at least 21,000, right? Because it has to give you more money than what it did before. So it has to give either 21,000 or maybe even 22,000, going by the 10% thing. However, it has a maximum limit of 20,000, so you aren't getting that much money gain. You're just getting you just have money wasted at your cap limit. So that's why most people go at 18k. When it's completely full at like 20k, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You may have lost some money, but you haven't lost all your money. So yeah, and 20k is pretty much better than like 15k or anything under. That's what I believe. So let me just rewind it a bit. Well, say for example round 22. Why not just collect it whenever you want at round 22 and go for your factory? Because isn't getting up your factory going to give you more money as well? Well, that's true, but the bank gives you more income at a faster rate than the factory does. Um, I mean, so like, so the bank gives you money at a faster rate than the factory does. So that's how the BIA works. And let me just scroll back a little for more time to talk about stuff. So you're probably thinking, if the BIA is so good, why not just keep going for the BIA? Well, part of the reason why the BIA is better than the factory is because of eco. Every single round, it also gives you 80 eco. So even though a person who got a factory gets more money than a person with a BIA initially, because a factory is constant, whereas BIA is always steadily increasing. Um, you don't want to go for the BIA always, because the factory is for short-term money and the BIA is for long-term money. So, and you're wondering at what round that the BIA overtakes the factory in. Money-wise, the BIA gives more money and well, it gives you more income with. Wait, no. So imagine this scenario on round 20. Um, Person one goes for factory, person two goes for BIA. Um, Person one with the factory will have more money and more income um, than person B because the factory is constant while the BIA is still growing in income. However, within 3 rounds, the BIA will catch up to the factory in terms of income. Not farm income, but income in general. Income being like the eco that the bank is providing, so the BIA can keep up with the factory. So yeah, it takes 3 rounds for the BIA to catch up in income. However, you might be wondering, well, what about sending rushes? What about that? Because sending rushes like ZMGs, they cost eco and money at the same time. Because like part of the reason why I mean you are getting more income within 3 rounds and that is when the BIA overtakes the factory. But when it comes to money wise, like how much money you have, it takes 6 rounds. The reason why is because part of the reason why the BIA caught up to the factory is because of the eco it has. And if you're sending a ZAMG right away, you might be destroying a lot more eco. Like say you have your BIA and you have 600 eco, whereas if you went for a factory, you might have 250 eco. Um, well, the BIA, um, so if you're sending a ZMG and getting rid of 600 eco, then at that moment, the BIA won't be as effective as the factory since part of its income is gone since you just wasted 600 eco compared to the factory where you only wasted 250 eco. So that's just one case scenario. So what about selling power? Well, since part of the BIA's income is eco, it takes at least, instead of 3 rounds, it takes at least 6 rounds for the BIA to catch up money wise in terms of money to sell all your farms and rush with. I have done the math and I have tested it out. Um, Although you guys are free to test it out as well and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because I've only tested it out like a couple of times and didn't really do thorough research. Um, so yeah, and the reason why people go for the BIA first and then they get factories after is because well, the extra eco isn't going to be much help, and you have to be thinking of practicality. um for the BIA, you can't just collect it whenever you want. You have to wait at least 6 rounds for the maximum efficiency, whereas for the factories you can get like a consistent amount of money for a specific period of time. So when someone rushes you and you don't want to collect all your money from the bank, assuming that you didn't even go for a factory, you went for all banks, then yeah, you're just pretty much in big trouble. That's why you always go for one bank and then factory spam. Um, and yeah, and that's how you catch up to a factory user. But um by the time wait, no, if you get the BIA on around, say, round 17 or maybe round 20, and you know that the game isn't going to end round 13, well, no, isn't going to end round 32 or shorter, then you might want to keep your BIA. You might want to collect 18K or $20,000 from the BIA and then keep it there, and then like by the time you collect it a second time, then you want to sell it, because at the round 30s, most of the time you're going to be rushing anyway, so it's going to be pointless to keep getting more eco. It's better to just sell your BIA for a factory, like I did just here. Since it's so close to round 30 right now, collected everything for my BIA and then I sold it to get a factory, because it's so close to round 32 and eco is going to be destroyed every time I'm going to send a ZMG, that the BIA just isn't going to be worth it. The factory gives so much more short-term money, and so you want to collect your BIA twice before selling that to go for factory. But that's only when you get your BIA in the earlier rounds. What about if you get the BIA say round 23 or 24? Rounds like that are actually pretty late. So if you get at round 23 or round 24 and know that the game will end around round 32 or slightly later, then you want to collect it at $18,000 once. You don't want to like keep it for a second time. You want to sell it and go straight for factory, because the eco isn't going to be that useful. It's just better because the factory gives a lot more money, because the BIA's eco isn't going to do anything if you're rushing. Um, Sometimes when it's like round 25s or something, you don't might not want to go for a BIA. Might want to go for a factory instead. Or maybe if you got your BIA on round 20 or 17, but you're attempting to all out on round 22. Well, that in that case scenario, then it's probably not that good to go for a BIA. You might want to go for a factory instead. Maybe because at times you don't want to go for a BIA at all. You want to go straight for factory. The reason why I say this is because you want to look at it like this: factory, short-term money; BIA, long-term money, and you want to know when the game is going to end. If it's going to end in 12 rounds or something, then you might want to collect your BIA twice and then sell that for a factory. If it's ending in about 6 rounds or 8 rounds or 7 rounds something, you might want to collect it once. If it's going to be ending in like 4 or 5 rounds, then you might not want to get your BIA at all. You might just want to keep factory spamming. If you are against a Cobra user, then and you are planning to end at round 24 and it is say round 22, then it's then it's the most efficient way. The most efficient way is to go for the factory. However, that puts you at a very high risk since you're trying to breed it out, and unless you have a really strong defense against balloon adjustment and all that, then you probably don't want to go for a factory because you're basically selling everything to go for it, even if you have a few plantations left for cushioning. So that's why you might want to sometimes just keep getting up plantations. Getting up on plantations is actually better for it's actually better than a BIA for short-term money if it's like within 2 rounds of rushing or something. But anyway, that's enough talking from me about the BIA. Let's go to hmm. So this is the general defense that most people should have, unless you guys have like 20 dart monkeys or like several juggernauts or something. Getting a 2-3 ace is probably a good idea for round 25 because round 25 has the most ceramics in it. So yeah, two juggernauts, 2-3 ace, and 10 triple dart monkeys on a map this long should be enough to defend round 25 AI. On round 27 AI, you want to save up for your fan club because like there'll be free space mobs coming out. Unless you have something like a bomb tower, um, in that case you can get a mob mauler and probably a balloon impact at the back, or probably an ice tower. You can see that if Daisy really wanted to, Daisy didn't really need to get a Super Monkey fan club if Daisy just ice kept ice stalling, but yeah. In general, you just want to get a Super Monkey fan club by around 27. And it seems that I am out farming Daisy at the moment because of my early eco game advantage. Even though Daisy was originally um, ahead on farms at first, I was way ahead on eco. Therefore, I could have I easily caught up with my factories, and yeah. And this is the setup that you want to have while defending space CMGs on round 32. Usually I have 5 fan clubs for the infinite fan clubs. So every 11 or 12 seconds you can just activate a Super Monkey fan club, and then wait, every time a Super Monkey fan club dies out, you can just activate a new one, and then there will just be a constant cycle of Super Monkey fan clubs. You just don't need to worry about anything. Or you can just save some money and get one Super Monkey fan club like Daisy did. And every time that fan club runs out, you can sell that Super Monkey fan club and get up a new Triple Dart Monkey as a 2-4 with the ability. There is no right way to do it. I use the Infinite Fan Club because it's just you don't have to worry about buying and reselling the fan club during the round 30s or something when defending space EMGs or probably fast cooldown EMGs. Um, so you can just focus all your attention on ace spamming. But if you're really low on money, then you might want to only keep it to one Super Monkey fan club if you wish. There is no right way to do it. It's really your choice. I just prefer Infinite Fan Club because my micro is actually quite bad. But yeah. So round 32, as you can see, I already have 2 specters up for round 32, so the super group ceramics on round 32 AI isn't going to kill me, and I'm not going to get any more factories up right now because I'm just going to be preparing my defense. Since Dart from Ice, it can stall and it can counter. So yeah. Um, and I think at one point I switched all my Dart monkeys these 4 dart monkeys to strong, and if you don't know why, you can check out my previous video or previous analysis video. Um, but for now, it looks like Daisy with Dart Farm Ice isn't really counter rushing me with anything, which is a big mistake on Daisy's part because it doesn't look like Daisy's going to be defending forever, and Ray of Dooms are really bad for just singular targets. They're more of a pierce type of tower. But apart from that, then yeah. Um, I don't know why Daisy didn't counter rush me with space EMGs. That's what Daisy should have been doing since There's no way that Daisy could have defended like that. So yeah. I think generally why some Dark Farm Ice users beat Dark Farm Ace users is because Dark Farm Ace, they tend to all out against Dark Farm Ice, and Dark Farm Ice doesn't even need to defend it, they can just stall. And yeah, because of that, Dark Farm Ace users won't have enough money to probably defend, and they will die sooner than Dark Farm Ice, since Dark Farm Ice can Ice stall. However, with Space EMGs, it will still be pretty difficult for Ice to defend, since Ice towers do splash damage like the Ace, and you can't stall forever. And yeah, by sending Space EMGs, you are still saving up a lot of money in your factories, as you can see right here. So you can have enough money to defend until round 35 or 38, depending on how good your micro is or how long the map is. So bad move on Daisy's part, but I'm sure Daisy learned from their mistakes. So same dark spot as usual. Oh, and this is where a lot of users tend to go wrong. This is where I go wrong as well. So this is what you really want to do if you want to use my start. You can see at 28 seconds the round 2 starts. So it's just 2 seconds after eco boost. So if you want to you want to press 5 sets of balloons before the eco boost ends. Let me just show you an example of that. Wait no, that was past the thing. Let me show you this example. As you can see, I sent 5 sets of balloons before the 30-second mark. Therefore, I have $460 since I got my eco early. Whereas compared to this, where I didn't get it in time for 30 seconds, I actually sent 5 sets of balloons after 30 seconds. You can see that I won't have $460. I will have 400 and wait, what? I will have $455 instead of $460. Even though this isn't very big, it's only a $5 difference, and it won't really make much of a difference. Actually, it won't even make any difference in most games. This is nothing really to worry about, but this is what just pains me. Some people just wait until 33 seconds before sending 5 sets of balloons. I generally like to send 5 sets of regular balloons before the 30-second mark, if possible. Because that way then, yeah, that way you have a $5 advantage. Just saying, this isn't anything important, it's just something to bear in mind. Maybe you might be $1 off something and you'll be regretting that you have learned this. I have no idea, but I'm just vomiting out random facts. So yeah, and I think yeah. So normal gameplay as usual. As usual, I'm going to send space blue, no, not space blues, groups blues, and then pinks over the top, because that dark monkey spot can't hit here. Therefore, this dark monkey spot is weak to groups balloons layering. It won't be as vulnerable to group balloons if you place a triple dark monkey right here, because it can hit this spot much earlier and it can get rid of a lot more balloons. So yeah. So yeah, if you place your first triple down monkey here, then it will be much better for groups balloons, but at the same time it will be much worse against pinks. So yeah. Um, hmm. So just ignore this normal gameplay for a while because yeah, because I have repeated certain scenarios in um in this video or in my previous analysis video. So yeah, I might want to skip that. Oh, how did I get the farm advantage? Um, so this time, since I knew Daisy was going dark farm ice, I was trying something out. I was trying to do a carry mix rush against Daisy and see how it works. It seems like Daisy did defend, so it was quite unfortunate that Daisy didn't die. But yeah. Usually it works on a really good player, so I was hoping it would work again, but it seems like that isn't the case. Fast forward a bit and let's go to ZMG Sends. Okay, so round 32, ZMG Sends. These Dark Monkeys are strong. I have a few Spectres up. I have money saved up for round 0, and I'm just sending space CMGs towards Daisy. And yeah, just normal everyday stuff. First CMG sent. As soon as my second CMG sent, I just used $9,000 to send another one. And Daisy really needs to get better at pressuring your opponent because just look at this. Look at how. Wait, no, never mind. Because in this scenario, the previous scenario, Daisy died, okay? And Daisy still has like way too many farms that Daisy could have used to either rush me or just do anything, to be honest, or just pressure me with space UMGs. You aren't going to use all your money if you're just going to sit there defending everything, or just send ones on my god and sit there defending everything. So you might want to learn how to pressure your opponent with your space UMGs. With Dark Palm Ace, I generally like to send constant space ZMGs until round 35, where I just sell everything for constant fast cooldown ZMGs because round 35 ZMGs are pretty much impossible for almost every Dark Palm Ace user to defend. So yeah. Um, so Daisy only sent me one ZMG. I just defended it easy peasy. And since Daisy isn't pressuring me with anything, I can take this opportunity to relax and just keep pressuring Daisy while Daisy falls behind. And yeah, look, Daisy has like this much money that's not even being used. Sending to CMG is a bit late because by pressuring me with ZMGs, you're distracting me from pressuring you back, if you see where my logic is coming from. But in this case scenario, I can see why Daisy didn't send as much, because you can see that she has, or he or she has Super Monkey. Super Monkey, even though it's good, it's just like not cost efficient. A $20,000 Super Monkey is worse than a $20,000 bunch of Bloom Jitsus, if you know what I mean. Even ninjas are more cost efficient. It's just that Super Monkeys take up much less space and are really good for a really late game. So yeah, for space UMGs, you don't want to ground 0 at all. You just want to wait until they're BFBs and then you want to start ground zeroing. That way you'll save a lot more money. However, if the ZMG is getting really far on your side, like say here, then you want to start ground zeroing like crazy. If they do start sending fast cooldown ZMGs, then you do want to start ground zeroing like crazy. And I just saw that and I knew that as a Dark Farm Ace user, I'm definitely going to die if Daisy sends ZMGs to me around 35, so I just sent her fast cooldown ZMGs on round 36, so it will just on round 34, so it just overwhelms Daisy completely. And it looks like Daisy just dies to this Space CMG. So since Daisy also sent this Space CMG on round 34, I had my chance to defend. After round 35, then you generally want to keep round zeroing, because your specters aren't going to do all the work. It's going to be a lot tougher for the ground zero for the specters to damage the DMG layer. So yeah, that's why you want to keep round zeroing past round 35 if they're constantly sending. So this is some extreme lag happening with Super Jump Bomber right here. Just for real purposes, just to for you guys to know, this isn't actually Super Jump Bomber. It's BTD Random Player. And I guess I'll be right back. Anyways, guys, back to the video today. So, oh my god, I just forgot. Me and this person right here had a very laggy game, but yeah. So again, this guy isn't actually Super John Bomber. It's actually BTD Random Player who actually changed his username to Super John Bomber. So again, I'm gonna try my best not to use my fourth tower because all I want to do is practice start from ace. And yeah, the game is very laggy. So yeah, as you can see, before 30 seconds, I send five sets of blues, five sets of balloons, and I get $5 extra compared to if I get it after. Now to go through your triple dart is another question on its own. So you have to take into account how many balloons he is sending. So usually if people put this star monkey placement here and they send about 5 sets of balloons and they don't upgrade to a triple dart monkey, chances are they will only leak about 20 lives. But if they send like more than 7 sets or something, then you want to go for your triple dart monkey because lives are just more important than like 2 bananas. At this point. You don't want to over defend in the later rounds because over defending will actually like cost you a lot more money. So yeah, he sent over 7 sets of balloons to go for triple dart. However, the reason why I don't send 9 sets or something, so it can definitely ensure that he goes to a triple dart, is because I have more money to spend on round 4, so I can layer blues earlier. And he makes a huge mistake and goes for balloon boosted pings. And as you can see right here, if I set the start monkey to last, it can just fire straight down this line, and it was just really good against pinks. Against balloon boosted pings, I think it's not as good. It's still better than regular dart monkey spots, but it's just not as effective. When against non-balloon boosted pings, then this dart monkey spot is legendary. And I think Zerd and Gaming Shaft put their second Dark Monkey spots here, and then like in certain circumstances, if you leave this Dark Monkey on 0-1, it can just fire down this straight line and catch all the pinks, and it could probably end an NLL, like no lives lost. It has happened before, but not always. So this, if you put your second triple down monkey here, this spot's really good for pinks and blacks. So that's why when you see these superpositions, you definitely want to go for fruit balloons instead of space balloons. So I'm sending greens right now because I'm just trying out mixed eco for a bit. Since if you mix eco with reds and blues, you're barely going to get any eco. It's when you send greens and up, that's when you get the big moolah. You get like a lot more money with the greens. Since you're spending your money so much quicker and you're getting income so much faster as well. Let's get forward to now. As you can see, BTD player to force me to get up a triple dart, he had to send 2 sets of region leads, which is good and all because at times region leads can actually regen and they can cause major problems and it can make you leak massively. However, if you have Juggernaut's a Juggernaut right here and a triple Dark Monkey right after it to like pop the regen black balloons, then there's not really much point sending regen leads, especially when BTD random player didn't really layer anything over it. So I sent him a Zebra and a Pink Rush, and it looks like BTD random player actually boosted, so that was pretty good for me. He's down into 2 pieces, but chances are I'm not going to get him down onto all no life slot, like with all 3 pieces down. So oh okay. So BTD random player actually boosts before round 15, like right before round 15. Therefore, he definitely needs to get the ace up, which he does. So he is safe for a rerush. Unfortunately, he doesn't wait. He doesn't actually wait for me to do the rerush. He just gets up this 2-3 ace straight away. You definitely don't want to do this. It's because the only reason you're putting the ace there after you boost is because you're really susceptible to regen leads, and if your opponent bloom boosts regen leads against you, then you definitely need to sell your farms and get the ace. Um, in BTD random player's case, he got up the ace straight away, which does mean he is safe, but at the same time, it's really good for me as well because I don't need to waste like $1,000 or $2,000 to send him regen leads or something to make him build up the ace. So yeah. So what you want to do is after you boost using Dark Arm Ace, you want to place down a 0-0 Ace, and when they send a rerush, you want to sell 2 plantations to get up your Ace from 0-0 to 2-3. If you're worried that your micro is bad and it might be your first time trying, then don't leave it at 0-0, just leave it at 0-2. So you can get the 2-3 Ace much quicker. But yeah, he just like left the ace there. And he sent me a small regen lead rush too. Well, not a small regen lead rush, but a big one. That was worth about like, well, you can see that 3 sets, like 1 set is 3 regen leads. So every set of regen leads he sends is about $360. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 sets of regen leads that he sent. So that's about $1,800. It would be better if he sent it on round 16 because he can layer it over the AI region zebras, but sending it on round 15 wasn't a bad idea as well because it would distract me from pressuring him or farming even further. Sometimes it's a very good idea to go for your BIA on round 17 or something because there's barely any balloons. AI balloons to layer over it, so it's safe and sound, and you can't really send a Moab to pressure. And if you have a boost, then you can definitely go for it. But so yeah. Because BTD random player has the ace up, you can see eventually after I go for my BIA, I only needed to sell 3 farms to go for my BIA, whereas he needed to sell all his farms to go for BIA. So I have 2 plantations as a farm lead, and you're probably wondering, why do I have the farm lead? Well, look here, this is why I have the farm lead. So what I suggest BTD random player to do, and what you guys to do as well, is every time you get the ace, every time you defend someone's rerush with the 2-3 ace, you want to sell the ace when they rerush you, when they rush you again. You want to sell the ace when you get your boost back, because by selling your ace, you can start farming again and catch up on farms. And even though if they punish you for being greedy, you can literally just boost and wait to sell your plantations to get up your 2-3 ace if they rerush again. Even though you might say that it's a waste of boost and it's also a waste of money since you're selling farms, you also don't want to be behind on farms as well. And at the same time, you're forcing them to send something. So they're also wasting money as well. And if they send a big rush and you defend, then that's really, really good for you since you would be getting a lot more money. However, if they don't send you anything, even after you sell the ace, then that is a pretty good sign. You're going to be pretty safe and you can just keep farming like usual and you won't be losing any boosts. With the dart farm ace strategy, if you know that it goes past round 24, the in which case you should have like a BIA or a factory for ground zero spam. So yeah, so you won't really need your boost that much, especially after round 32. You won't definitely need your boost. It's not essential. I've defended very long with Dart Farm Ace without a boost on maps like Dreadbloom, without a boost at all. But if you need to, a boost always helps. But it's not essential. So yeah, maybe having keeping one boost is a good idea. But you definitely want to use your boosters for like Moabs when you don't have enough Dart Monkeys up or something because you don't want to die to rushes to early game rushes like that. So So as you can see right here, by round 25, I have 2 factories up, whereas he's only getting up plantations. That just shows how massive my farm lead is. All because he didn't sell the ace in the beginning. And he almost dies, to be honest. At this point, if he died right here, I won't be analyzing this video since it didn't go to round 32. However, I will just like keep it like that. I think he almost died because like I said with the previous video, I had 2 juggernauts, so they would all destroy all the ceramics in one single strike, whereas he has 1 juggernaut. He has to wait twice, his juggernaut to shoot twice, or his juggernaut to shoot and all his dart monkeys to pop the ceramic layer until his ace can start doing work, where the balloons are about here. I just said a bunch of nonsense. If you can actually understand that, then thank God. Because I am not saying that again. That was a mouthful. So you can see, even if he goes for his second factory now, like here right now, I already have 3 factories and I'm up on $8,000. As you can see, I just went for a fan club, even though he has the 2-3 ace right here. And if you keep going forward, you can see that I'm just getting a huge farm lead ahead of BT random player. And it looks like he even got a Spectre up early. A Spectre is pretty much worth about an entire factory. You don't want to get your Spectre until like just before round 32 if you want to have as much money as possible, or you might want to get a Spectre up when they start sending space CMGs. One of the two. You don't want to get it up that early. I mean, it does help against these mobs a little, but a fan club would just be much cheaper and it would be just as effective if you know what I mean. So continuing on, if you look here at my BIA, I collect my balance for the second time and then I sell it for a factory because it's so close to round 32 that I'm going to be sending space EMG that my eco will be destroyed regardless of how many BIAs I get up. So right now I'm just getting up Spectres right before round 32 and I'm just having a consistent flow of money. Usually what people do is they start sending space EMGs at round 29 or probably round 30 or probably round 32. I like to send mine around round 30, but if my opponent is being passive or like trying to defend their own stuff and trying to catch up on farms, then sometimes 32. It really depends on like how much I feel like farming, to be honest. So, and it looks like he does use his 4th tower, the Darling Gun, which won't do much since since the Darling Gun isn't good for space targets. Even the Ray of Doom, it eventually dies to space mobs. It's just really, really sad how the Ray of Doom dies to space mobs. But like that just shows how bad the Darling Gun is for single targets. It is really good against group ZMGs or groups layered balloons, but apart from that, not really. So yeah, he has two specters up, and looks like he does start defending. I think he's ground zeroing too early because he can literally wait until this ZMG layer is popped before he can like move on to this one again. Um, but you do you, BT random player, you do you. He is wasting $4,000 every second. What I recommend though is every time um you get a ZMG to BFEs, right? I suggest you not to ground zero right away. You might want to get two monkey aces, so then you can get rid of the BFB layer and then get rid of the mob layer straight away. Because what you do if you just keep ground zeroing instead of getting two ground zeros is well, probably three ground zeros, because one ground zero didn't get rid of the BFB layers. So this is getting late. Because since if you ground zero, the Moabs, there will be Moabs, and as you can see right here, there's like a really tight amount of balloons, and yeah, and the ceramics can just sneak by just like that. So that's why you probably want to get up two or three ground zeros, and then by the time they get to BFBs, you want to use all of them at once. It looks like he struggled a lot more with space EMGs against me, because I wasn't really pressured with anything that he sent me, so I could just keep sending space EMGs instead of yeah. If he's actually pressured me, then I would be a lot more focused on trying to defend my side instead of sending as much ZMGs against him, and my ZMGs would probably be a bit more spaced out, and he would have a bit more time defending the ZMGs. So yeah, that's the benefits of counter rushing with space ZMGs. You can counter rush with fast cooldown ZMGs straight away, but if that's the scenario, then I can just sell some of my factories to just ground zero spam all the way. With space UMGs, you don't want to ground zero spam. You want to um, just keep activating the ground zero every time a ZMG layer is popped. So yeah. Even if you run out of money from your factories, you can even sell your specters to get up on money for a few more ground zeros if you want to. So yeah, that is BTD random players analysis, and that is how you defend region leads and how you greed with against region leads. And I don't even know how to conclude, but it looks like I'm about to overtake an entire hour. This video is going to take ages, so really sorry for the length of this video, guys. I really do apologize that I'm taking forever to explain things, but hopefully you guys have learned something. Hopefully you guys gotten better. If you have liked the video, click that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button if you want to see more of these types of videos in the future. If you don't like my content, then make sure to dislike my video, because that's what the dislike button is for. If you don't want to be subscribed to me, then definitely unsubscribe. If you don't want to see these types of things anymore, definitely put down a hate comment down below. I'm just joking. Comment down below what you guys want to see, and see ya.